Are you nervous about the film?
Conscious, subconscious. So that is, it was scary and I was so excited also at the same time. Like
So what's the biggest learning?
I think it's very easy to spoil a film with music.
Right.
I think I lost you. What did you ask me?
Smart.
Hey, go by then.
ఇలా వస్తుంటే ఏం చేద్దాం?
నా మీద కట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
ఎన్ని మినిట్స్ అయింది?
Not bad.
తినుకు
చినుకు చాకే.
చినుకు చాకే. Oh fuck, this is big. Hi Vivek, thanks for joining us and welcome to Tollywood.
Thank you.
So,
This is called what? What do you mean by Tollywood? This the show's name or?
No, Tollywood.
Generally Tollywood. Okay.
Telugu
Thank you,
industry. So we love the work that you did for Pellichoopulu, and what is your feeling? What are you feeling?
It's definitely amazing. అంటే ఇంకా మ్యూజిక్ చేసినప్పుడు we all enjoyed it a lot. So I think that's what I took from this project.
So are you nervous about the film?
No, I'm not nervous. It's we've done it, so the main job is done. So after this, it's not in our control.
So how were your initial days, Vivek, of composing, and did you have to struggle a lot to make a mark?
I think everything involves struggle. Like there's no other way about it for anything. But it's not like a struggle. I don't know. It was initially, maybe it was mentally, because I think you take the pressure of being, becoming something. But once you give up on becoming something, you just start doing what you want to do. So I think that when I realized that, it was I was just doing it. So film, this just happened like that. It was not something that it's not like I want to be a music director. I want to do 10 films per year or anything like that. The idea was to do music. And if films are happening, films will happen. If something else is happening, it will happen.
Right. So how did you develop the interest in music?
As a kid, I started singing when I was, I don't know, 4 or I just used to sing like my mother sings.
Right.
So maybe I got it through her or something. So that intuition was there, when I was a kid. And after that, it was just a process. I was listening to music and I was feeling more and more of it. And I didn't like it was not like a conscious decision. Like one day I thought I'm going to be a musician. I think it was just like that in my conscious, subconscious or something. So then after my engineering, I just I picked up the guitar and I started composing or whatever, like just trying out things.
So you did engineering.
Yeah.
Okay, and which stream?
Electronics and communications. Yeah.
And then you got into music. You never wanted to get into the corporate world?
No, I had no idea. Like even in my 4th year, I remember my friends were talking about writing GRE and doing something, but I had no idea. I was not doing anything. I was just kind of stuck with music.
Right.
And so it continued like that.
You were playing for a lot of bands. Alter Ego was one of them.
Yeah, Alter Egos was one of them. But before that, we had this band called Stiff Neck Syndrome, where we played a lot of shows here in Hyderabad and other cities.
Right.
Then there's another band that happened called Catharsis, which is we're still part of it, which is like a jazz Carnatic fusion band kind of thing. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
and you played the guitar.
I played the guitar. I used to play the bass also for the band.
Okay.
Like we all take up different jobs depending on
Right.
the kind of work we are doing. So with Catharsis, it's like that. Then otherwise, individually, I've been composing and producing music with my friend called Sanjay, who's like the mixer and the drummer for the band.
Right. So when did you start off Tape Loop?
Tape Loop, I think around 2008 or 9. It's not like a company or something. It was just a name that we used for our studio,
right.
like just a place where we all work.
Right.
So that place is there, been there with us since 2004 or 5 now. Like it's been 10 or 12 years now. Yeah. So initially it was a band, which bands ante eppudu kuda start avute, then there's always something happens. But with Catharsis, luckily we've been together.
So you and your partners, when did you decide that you wanted to compose music for films? Or was it because Tharun approached you?
No. It was I think composing music happened long back. Like band lo unnappudu kuda, obviously band lo unnappudu you start off covering music.
Right.
You're influenced by so many bands and you want to be like them or whatever. Then there's always this stage, I don't know, for a musician where you start asal what is your, what do you really want to play,
Right.
like yes, rock is there, it's influence,
Right.
but what is within you, what is that is important. So once that question starts arising, you start composing. So around 2000, I don't know, since నేను గిటార్ పట్టుకున్నప్పటి నుంచి for me it was not about learning, as in learning was there, but it was about I don't know, I always used to get new tunes, I wanted to write my own music. That was the intuition I always had. So it was always happening in my mind. I always I'm humming some tune or groove, or so atla it just became a part of me. It was not like I'm a composer, I'm going to compose.
Right.
And atla, yeah.
So what was the turning point in your life when you got noticed, for your music?
I think there are a lot of every with every project I was part of was a turning point. Like say Stiffneck, like that first band we were in, I was exposed to a lot of rock, metal, and I was learning by working out their songs.
Right.
And at the same time, I was also a huge fan of Ilayaraja. I was studying his music, because most of us in our band are self-learned, self-taught.
Right.
We never had a formal education in music. So his music was like it's still like a, like a Wikipedia, whatever. It's like an ocean where you can learn music,
Yeah.
not just, not the production I'm talking about. The
Yeah.
musicality,
Yeah.
the kind of, ragas or the chords or harmony, all that. So that was happening. That was another turning point. And then Catharsis was another turning point where we completely started writing our own music, involving Carnatic music in it, which was, we were getting close to what our roots, which is
Yeah.
very important, because it was a tangent from where we were coming.
Right.
So that is one turning point. Then when I started composing, definitely after meeting Tharun, once I started making music with him, I think Sainma definitely, I'd say. It
Right.
was one project we felt it, when Tharun వచ్చి చెప్పినప్పుడు, and the way it kicked off, and the way that the actors portrayed it, sync sound coming together, and music kuda, it was very experimental for us, like oka Telangana folk with the country, that orchestration is like a old
Right.
country kind of a thing. So then there was some dubstep we tried out, even I'm not a great electronic fan or an artist, so it was very new for me.
Right.
So I think Sainma definitely was it.
Right. So how's the association been with Tharun, since you've already worked earlier? Was it easier for you while composing for
వెరీ ఈజీ.
Pellichoopulu?
అంటే అదే నేను ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎట్లా చూస్తా అంటే, ఇప్పుడు ఏ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఉన్నా కూడా, అన్లెస్ ఇట్స్ అ కార్పొరేట్ ఫిల్మ్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్, ఫర్ అ గుడ్ పీస్ టు కమ్ అవుట్ ఆర్ అ గుడ్ సాంగ్ టు కమ్ అవుట్, ఫోర్స్డ్ ఉండదు అనిపిస్తుంది నాకు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు తరుణ్ ఇప్పుడు చెప్పంగానే నాకు ఒక పాట కావాలంటే, ఒక లవ్ సాంగ్ కావాలని వదిలేస్తే ఐ కాంట్ డూ ఎనీథింగ్, ఐ కెన్ ఓన్లీ థింక్ ఆఫ్ ఎ టెంప్లెట్, ఓ లవ్ సాంగ్ ఎట్లుంటుంది. బట్ వెన్ యూ టాక్ అబౌట్ why that's happening, or who is involved in it, or what is the kind of feeling they share, and then we try and get into a song, like a mood, you create a context, atla when a song forms, I feel it'll have more weight and more depth.
Right.
And with Tharun, it's like that.
Right.
Like he also allows me to, he gives me my time, he never take your time, that is one thing I really liked. And Tharun kuda baga, he listens to a lot of different stuff, he likes kotta sound ishtam Tharun ki, and I don't know if he also thinks the same way, but ippadaka Tharun tho chesin dantlo there was never one thing that I sent and he said it's not working.
Not working.
Like somehow it always, like even though it was not for that situation, it worked out somewhere else.
Right. So what were your
it's just
discussions
natural.
with him
For Pellichoopulu.
for Pellichoopulu?
Discussion ante first Tharun
Since
obviously
you-
wanted good music,
Right.
something that is fresh, something that has a soul, that has a melody, more important.
Right. He told me that he doesn't, you don't take references. So
Yeah, so it's not like I don't take references, but first I try and see what I can do, what
Right.
I would think,
Right.
or and sometimes I fail, sometimes I totally fail, and then I definitely ask for Tharun, Tharun, what was that, what is actually that you're thinking about the scene,
Right.
or which kind of so out and out, first I say no, but if it's not happening, and then I definitely see in which, then I try and understand what, and then I see how I can express it in my own way, like
Right.
that groove or whatever,
Right.
instead of just taking it, how else I would approach it in the that kind of a feeling to get that weight, or that groove or anything like that.
So now that you have composed for the film,
Yes,
and you must, I'm guessing that you have already seen the visuals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think Tharun has done a great job with when it comes to the visual part of it? Do you think he's done justice to the music that you've given?
So I think it's the other way around because songs, nothing. He had no song when he went for the shoot.
Right.
He finished the shoot. He got me the edit. Only after that I started composing the song.
Oh,
so
okay.
It should be the other way around. Say if I did justice to what he shot.
Right.
So I mean, screen me just I think you guys will know it. But yeah, it was. Naకేమైందంటే టెక్నికల్ సినిమాటోగ్రఫీ అంటారేమో బట్ ఫర్ మీ ఐ లైక్ ద వే ద కెమెరా వాజ్ జస్ట్ దేర్ ఇట్ వుడ్ లైక్ ఇట్ నెవర్ క్రెప్ట్ ఇట్ వాజ్ నాట్ లైక్ ఇట్ వాజ్ జస్ట్ లైక్ ఇట్ వాజ్ దేర్ there was no ఇట్లా it was not an other element, it was not conscious. That's what I liked. It was very simple. It is just taking you into the story and taking you out whenever necessary. So and it was and Tharun the cinema lo నాకు చాలా ఇష్టం అంటే లాంగ్ షాట్స్ ఉంటాయి లైక్ అవుతుంటది there is drama happening slowగా he leaves it there. అది నాకు I like
so how did the film come to you, Vivek? It's just
Tharun,
because you have known Tharun?
Yeah, and
okay.
I think it was very natural, like after Saima
Right.
we were just waiting to do something.
Okay, so it was always there.
Yeah, when he told me, like even if you would have narrated another script, I would have probably done it. It was
Right.
Yeah.
So in one of the press meets, the producer said they weren't sure of getting a band to compose. What were your reactions? How did you convince them? Or
I did not. See,
was there no
when Tharun
convincing
came to
at
me,
all?
Yeah, I said one condition I put to Tharun and Ranjit, this the
Yeah.
executive producer. I was talking to Ranjit also. I said, see, I don't want to talk to the producers. Like you guys talk. I'll give you whatever you want. You tell me. Like if you find something wrong with it, we'll change. But I don't want somebody constantly telling me, deadlines or
Right.
because I need time to work on stuff. So, and while the producers, they were surprisingly, they were very, they were very supportive. They definitely checked on us. They were like, aim not summa white. They were little crossed because we were taking our time. But at the end of the day, it's they gave us the freedom. I think that's what we acknowledged. In Tarata, we also realized that they actually gave us a lot of freedom.
Right.
But I think when the first theme, when I composed the first theme, when I sent it to him, I think that's when they liked it. That's what Yash told me recently. Saying that he really liked it the first time he heard it.
So the album itself is very fresh. We aren't sure if there has been an album in the recent time which is a mix of genres. So was it your decision or was it Tharun who had the idea?
Okkati, see, one thing I always believed is that genres are for to identify things. They are not the source for music. It was not that I'm going to do a song in this genre. Atla ippudu nenu anukonu because it will completely limit you and it's always about finding a new. I think that's what it is, that whenever you do a song or anything, you want it to sound like nothing else. That is the whole point. So atla Tharun cheppetappudu, yeah, when we talk probably we can talk with genres, but while sitting and composing music, all these songs happened the way they had to come out. So nenu etla anukunta ante when you start a melody, any small thing, that melody dictates how the rest of the song should be, how it should end, what kind of instrument it should have, also based on the budget that we have. Atla accumulate cheskoni okati how exactly it can be done.
Right.
Yeah.
So music is storytelling in itself.
Absolutely. And I think it's very easy to spoil a film with music, and at least for me I feel that. So even when the background score was happening, I was like, Tharun, we don't need music here. You tell me that we don't need. We should not. So only we tried, to be as minimal as possible, and where music was really needed, we had it.
Right.
Unlike just having it everywhere, or with a comedy dialogue or whatever.
Right. So Vivek, this is an observation. So I came across some, your music captures the changing dynamics of urban society. For an instance, when it comes to the boy, the music turns very edgy and funky, and when it comes to the girl, actually it's more melodious and soothing.
Yeah.
So would you agree on that?
Absolutely, yeah. While doing it, see, music is used to express.
Right.
See, the thing is, in film, you're already telling what's happening.
Right.
So music, the only job of music is to accentuate what is happening. In a scene there could be 4 or 5 people feeling different things. But the director or the discussion I have with Tharun is like, what are we telling the audience? I think it's a known fact, like everybody knows it. We just wanted to be clear about that fact. I think that's a very basic purpose of music. So yeah,
So Chinuku Take, I really like that song, very beautiful. Music is kept to the bare minimum and the
Absolutely,
vocal dominates in the song. So how did you get to compose that? What were your...
For this I think, so when Tharun wanted a song for the situation where it's Ritu's past or something. So Tharun was imagining one old Ilayaraja song from, I think, the movie Priyatama, it's called.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. So Tharun, Adi I already knew. Tharun, okay, I just saw Rush where he just put that music behind it. It's an old song, beautiful, amazing song, obviously. Akkada I was really scared because Tharun asked me, he wanted, like an old song, like a retro song which has a melody, So yeah, I think that was the big line that he drew, like it should have a Raja feel to it, which was it was scary, and I was so excited also at the same time.
Yeah, there's a benchmark, right?
Absolutely, no doubt, yeah. So the idea was to have a beautiful melody, like something that'll flow, that'll just be there, So and then this tune was there, and I took, I think, at least some 20 days to kind of complete it.
Okay.
And then instrumentation would have me and Varun, like the sing sound guy, who did the sing sound, we both played the guitars. Like we just sat and we recorded. It was not like it was a very casual recording that we did, and I completed the tune. And then I think that girl who sang really made the difference. Like when we got her voice, she's not a, like say, a playback singer, but she's from Bangalore. She's a Malayali actually.
Oh, interesting.
And I found her through one of my friends. She was coordinating me with for getting singers. She was talking to people and getting me some singers. So she was her I don't know, one very old friend or something. So she just remembered her name, and I sent the song to her. She sang it to me on the phone. And then we just got her to Hyderabad. It was, and when she sang it, that's when I thought, this.
Right. The song stands out in the album actually.
Yeah. I think that's what melody does. That's what I think a good song does.
Right. So I met Ritu and Vijay recently, and they were telling me about the Spitfire Friends and how you got to compose that. Would you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Spitfire Friends is another. It's actually a track which is predominantly in English. It's a rap that has English lyrics to it. It's definitely a crazy track because I did it for another situation.
Right.
But Tharun was like, this is a little too slow for, we want something else for it. But this works in another situation.
Right.
So then I took that track, and there's this friend of mine called Nikhil. He's a rapper, he's not like a pretentious rapper who just says, he improves with his words, and he's spontaneous about it. So I just played the track to him, and he just started rapping on it.
Okay.
So it was an improv. It was not something, so the whole track, if you listen to it, again, probably, so it's an improv, so which is, I think, amazing to capture. In the same spirit, we also captured another street musician who was Sankranti. Yeah, వాళ్ళు వస్తుంటారు. So we did one for Saima already. Saima lo Dappu step అనేది ఒకటి. It was a street recording that we used, the Shenai and the vocal. So దీంట్లో it was another. ఆయన ఏదో చాలా లాంగ్ గా చెప్పాడు తెలుగులో, with అది కూడా కలోకియల్ తెలుగులో, లాంగ్ rap kind of thing. I don't know if it's even rap. So it just comes out like that. So Adi, I had it, and when I was working on this track, I just kind of remembered that I have this, and Okasari, when I got it onto this, it completely, changed the whole.
Right. So that happened when you were traveling somewhere, and
no,
then you
my
got...
studio munde.
Okay.
So my Chikkadpalli lo untadi studio. It's not like a huge studio or something. It's a proper gully lo untadi itla, and there are a lot of people. But once you get in, it's a very different place.
Right.
So baita there is a lot of activity happening.
Right. So that person happened
he was
to pass
just
by.
passing by, and we always do this. We recorded so many times. We recorded some bhajans, some people who beg for money or whatever, but they sing beautifully. So we give them some money, whatever we can, and record them.
Right. So are you
Amazing artists like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you consciously trying to record such natural sounds?
See, when we did it initially, it was not a conscious thing.
Right.
But now that we know, probably it is conscious. But when we did it, it was not like, okay, we're going to do something. It was, since it was shit, kya hai, or what is this guy saying? It's so amazing. And with that curiosity, we recorded it. And it was just there for a long time. It was not that we recorded it for this project. So Atla, I have a lot of stuff that I record, tunes or grooves that I find, like when I'm traveling.
Yeah,
if something comes to me, I just record on my phone and I use it wherever necessary.
So traveling reminds me, I also hear that you love to travel, go to the hills and...
So
does nature inspire you to compose?
For anyone, yeah. It is very true. Like for not just music, but anything, since we all come from nature, and I think it's more evident now because we are all living in cities and most of them we are not in touch with it.
Right.
Like not so completely, but when you go to a place like that, it totally grounds you and it feels peaceful. I don't know, like some people might spiritual or whatever, but it's a beautiful feeling and it definitely drives you into doing something. Absolutely. Like a place totally changes how you think.
Right. So was there a moment during the composing for Pellichoopulu that you thought, okay, I'm done, I need to go to the Himalayas?
Himalayas, Himachal, I've been there only once, but it's such a place where it calls you back. No matter what you do, you know where you are. So adi unde, but ikkada panlo, you have to.
You
so
had
much,
to do it.
Yeah. So.
Right. So finally, during the Pellichoopulu, the process of shoot and everything, what is that one moment that stays with you for a long time now?
I think the whole process, to be honest, and chese mundu, like any project, first it is so blank. When Tharun came up to me, even for a month, I had no clue what to do for it. Like asalu oka part vastadha rada kuda teliyadu. But that first moment when it starts and that flow is beautiful. Like when, for me, I think ఏదైనా పని చేసినప్పుడు we should learn from it. Like for me it's like that. Like whenever I do music, I see that there is something new that I've never done before. Right. Like while playing, it could be the chords, it could be the kind of rhythm. అది ఏదున్నా, like if there's something new that I find for myself, I feel I'm learning something.
So there's a learning,
yeah, because there are the process of making a song for me is, since I never got trained under anyone, or there are so many things we tried out and few things work. So atla you learn so much from so that is one thing I really liked about Pellichoopulu. Like,
so what's the biggest learning?
Biggest learning ante to be as musical. Actually, ante ippudu with the kind of technology we have, it's very easy to produce a song. Like anybody with a laptop can sit and do a song. It is that simple now. But for it to be musical, for it to stay with you, for it to make you feel something, that is not the tool. The tool is music. Like so for me the challenge is to be able to compose without a computer. So all my compositions will happen on a piano or a guitar or just by me singing.
Right.
And then go to the computer and write music on it, just for the production sake. So if that musical element is strong, the music is going to stay. I think that's why you can listen to a Bach or a Mozart or Salil Chaudhary or like all the old amazing music, K.V. Mahadevan or Ilayaraja. Their music will stay. Like I hear my mom saying all the time that ippudu music my mummy ki ishtam ante she hardly sings anything. She always goes back to those beautiful songs with lyrics. So I think that influence chinnappudu, even though I didn't understand it, now I understand the importance of having good lyrics also, and that is one thing where definitely I'm happy about this project, is that we got very very good lyrics.
Right.
I don't know how they are anta poetic gunnalo teliyadu, but for me at least we didn't try out some 2 words crazy bass or whatever, like atla levu. There is some kind of depth in it. There is a story in the lyrics, and there is one good feeling. There is some humor. E Babu garki there's one country blues song. If you listen to the lyrics, there is some kind of a story. It's so adi, I think that is very important.
So what's coming up next for you?
I'm already in a project called Shishmal. It's an independent film. It's totally off grid.
Right.
I don't know if it's going to have a release also, but the music is completely it's not at all commercial. And I mean, if you put it out, it's commercial, but in not that sense. I'm saying in terms of its sounding, We got a record with Piyush Mishra. He wrote couple of couple of songs for the film, and we recorded with Indian Ocean. Rahul Ram, he did a song.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so that is one really exciting thing. But Adan release, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many people are going to watch it. But
Right.
independent film laga, we go to festivals and all that.
Right.
That's,
And has Pellichoopulu happened? Is it happening?
yeah,
you?
29th. Yeah, this 29th.
No.
For all of us.
Smart. Okay, so wishing you luck for
Thank
the
you so much.
29th
Thank you so
and
much.
welcome to Tollywood again. I'm saying, I'm
Thank you.
stressing on it. So yeah, hoping to see you around.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.